Before I get to my weekly vlog, I'd just like to give a shout out to my grandma who sadly passed away this morning. May you finally rest in peace with Grandpa. How's it going? So this week has been, a part of it has been happy, but the other part's been sad. So to begin with, let's start with the sad. So as you saw before, my grandma unfortunately passed this morning, and it's just overall really sad news really. But don't get me wrong, a part of me is a bit glad that she's now resting in peace, because she was actually suffering quite a lot this past few years, because she was always bedridden all day, every day, and the only part of her body that she could move is her slight right arm. Like, even then it's very stiff and very limited, and the rest of her body she just couldn't move, and she couldn't really feel anything either. Like, her whole body was just really numb, and this overall, I guess the easiest way to put it is that she was basically trapped in her own body really. Like, her mind and stuff was fully functioning and she had a really good memory and stuff, but it's just her body was just not cooperating. It was just shutting down basically. So, and then she always had like workers to take care of her and stuff, but every time I saw her she was always really suffering and just really sad as well. And my granddad passed about 5 years before as well, and I took that really hard. Like, for like a few months I was just really depressed, and I just felt one of my lowest moments in my life. So I was just so depressed and couldn't really cope with it really, and it was quite sudden as well. But with grandma, like, I heard that she was admitted to hospital a few days, so I was kind of like prepared for it, but at the same time didn't really want to like admit it, sort of thing. But hopefully she can rest in peace with granddad now. So yeah, just overall very sad really, but unfortunately that's just the way of life really. And no matter what I think or feel, just in the end I just gotta accept it really. But yeah, I just hope I can pull through this sad time. But because of this, my mum will most likely have to go to Hong Kong in the next few days as well, so I'll most likely be left home alone again. But you know, I've done it a few times in the past, so I should be able to manage. But what's important is that my mum is to be by grandma's side at this time. So yeah. And then as for the rest of the week, I continue to go to Woodside Centre again, and I continued on my sculpture of my character, and this time I got to the painting part. And unfortunately there was a bit of an accident when I was painting him. Like, he accidentally slipped while I was holding on to him, and then it accidentally broke off one of his arms, so I had to repair him and fix all the cracks and then paint it over it. So I think it'll overall be okay. So I think a few more days with it should be finished. And then after that we went to the archives, which is like a mini museum that anyone can enter. And we went there to draw things like fossils and or dinosaur bones, or like just medieval and olden times really. So it was quite an interesting visit, and I drew some fossils and then a dinosaur skull as well. So it was quite interesting this week in sketching, and I actually found myself not realizing that it was time to go, so I had to like quickly pack up my sketches and get going really. But overall it was quite a nice visit. I also published my newest Real Talk video this week, and if you haven't gone and seen it, and please do, because this one's quite a personal story for me. Like, I mean, all my Real Talk videos are very personal to me, but this one is just that much more extra special and personal to me. So if you get the time, please go check it out. And then for the rest of the week, I've mainly just been focusing on my book, and I'm happy to report that it's finally been published today. And hopefully it will be accepted and fully published. And then I would also like to order myself a copy as well. So I'm very proud of myself again for publishing my 4th book this year, which for me it's a very huge accomplishment. So it's a much shorter and smaller story compared to my previous books, but all the same it was very challenging to do as well. But overall I'm very proud of myself for getting it finished and published. As well as this week, I also got myself this new camera, because the camera I was using before was a GoPro, so I couldn't see myself when I was recording, so I didn't know what I was shooting at. But I actually got myself a webcam this time, and hopefully it's quite a higher quality than my GoPro. And some of you may have noticed that I'm also recording in another room, and this is the room that I've been preparing and cleaning up for these past few weeks. So I think overall the room is now done, so I've just moved my computer and recording stuff in here, and just show you what the room looks like. It's quite a small room, but I think for me it's nice and cozy, so not too big and not too small, so it's a nice size room for me. As for my mood this week, it's been roughly the same really, so a bit up and down as usual, but hearing the news of my grandma passing has definitely lowered my mood quite a bit. But like I said before, it's unfortunately just the way of life, and just gotta accept it really. And other than that, my mood lifted when I finally finished and published my book. So overall, quite up and down my mood really overall, but other than that I think it's roughly been the same as last week really. And I think that's pretty much for this week. So quite eventful with like my grandma and publishing my book and going to the archives and stuff, so quite eventful for me. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week, so hopefully I'll see you next Saturday. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, always look forward, keep hope alive, and remember, you're somebody.